In my last video, I talked about how I shifted through SATS. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how I shifted through SATS. For those of you who don't know what SATS is where your body and your mind are completely relaxed, but you are still in control of your thoughts. Every night we enter SATS, or whenever we're going to sleep, whether it's when we're taking a nap or we're going to sleep at night, we enter SATS right before we sleep. It is possible to consciously get into SATS. The most popular SATS technique or method is the one made by Neville Goddard. According to Neville Goddard, you would get into a comfortable position, you would quiet the mind and relax your body. You would do this until you enter SATS. While you're in SATS, you would visualize a short scene. The scene would be about you already having your desire, or you being in the wish fulfilled. You would repeat the same scene over and over again until you fall asleep. When you do this, you trigger your subconscious mind. After that, you would have your manifestation. One of Neville Goddard's books, he said that it would take 3 days to manifest using this technique. Other techniques or methods are, well, there's only one that I know of, and it's the lullaby method. You're basically doing the same thing, but it's just you're affirming instead of visualizing. Now I'm going to be talking about how I consciously enter SATS and what I did while I was in SATS to manifest me shifting to my desired reality. I experimented a lot. I don't know how long it took me exactly, but I think it took me like a week to figure out exactly what makes me enter SATS quickly and successfully every single time. First thing that I did was that I made sure that I was at least a little bit sleepy. Next, I would close my eyes and I would relax as if I'm going to sleep. I would pretend to fall asleep, if that makes sense. You know how when your eyes are closed and you're just staring at nothing, at the darkness? I would just be there and stare at the darkness, and I would wait until I saw random images come up in my mind. When this happens, this means that you're definitely in the hypnagogic state and you are about to have a dream. You're in between falling asleep and dreaming, and you're very, very close to dreaming. When that happens, I would start affirming or visualizing. I did whatever I felt like doing in the moment. So sometimes I would affirm, sometimes I would visualize. If I'm affirming, I would just affirm twice. But if I'm visualizing, I would just do what Neville Goddard suggests, which is to visualize a short scene. After that, I would do the same thing that I did before, which is to stare at the darkness again, and I would wait until random images pop up in my head again. I would do the same thing as before again, which is to affirm or to visualize. After I affirm or visualize again, I would feel my body being asleep. This is when I'm in SATS. You know when you're in SATS, when you feel that your body is kind of tingly or about to be paralyzed. This is so repetitive, but while I'm in SATS, I would do the same thing that I did before again. This time, I would just affirm once, or I would visualize not as long as before, because, well, I don't know if this is just me or if other people experience this too, but if I affirm or if I visualize too much while I'm in SATS, it's hard for me to fall asleep. Based on my personal experience, it's best if you fall asleep right after you affirm or visualize. When you fall asleep with that in mind, with you being in the wish fulfilled, with you knowing that you already have your desire, knowing that you have already shifted to your desired reality, then it really sticks to your subconscious mind. And while you're asleep, your subconscious mind is still working in the background. You manifest quicker while you're in SATS because your conscious mind isn't active for those thoughts to come up and for there to be resistance. I would do all of this for 2 days, and either one of these things would happen. I would either fall asleep and wake up in my desired reality, or as I fell asleep, I would feel myself shifting to my desired reality and I would open my eyes in my desired reality. After experimenting a lot with SATS, I learned a lot along the way, and I want to mention what I learned because I think it might help. The first thing that I learned was that you should not be too hard on yourself when you immediately fall asleep the first time you try entering SATS. You also shouldn't be hard on yourself when you're having a hard time falling asleep after affirming or visualizing while you're in SATS. These things are actually very common. In my opinion, SATS is like building up a skill. The more you practice this skill, the better you get at entering SATS. The second thing that I learned was that it's best to enter SATS and manifest through SATS at night when you're going to sleep and in the morning when you just woke up. Being in a hypnagogic state, you're able to get into SATS quickly. I also learned that visualizing in first person is very helpful. When you're visualizing in first person, you get really immersed in that scene. When you're really immersed in that scene, your subconscious mind really believes that what you're seeing in your mind is actually real. Recently, I experienced entering SATS, and while I was visualizing, I shifted straight into that scene. Like everything all of a sudden was so real. I learned that listening to subliminals that have affirmations about entering SATS and manifesting through SATS is very helpful. There are 2 subliminals that I listen to that help me to enter SATS. I will link them in the description below if you want to go check those out and listen to them yourself. There are actually not that many subliminals that have affirmations about SATS, entering SATS, manifesting through SATS. If you want, I can make a subliminal that is helpful for when you enter SATS and shift through SATS. Let me know in the comment section down below and I will do this. Isn't talked about much in the law of assumption community. It is possible to enter SATS when you're going to take a nap. I have done this multiple times. I had no problem entering SATS when I was going to take a nap. That's everything that I learned, but I do want to mention one more thing. I wanted to give credit to this Reddit post that I found, which helped make SATS click for me. I will put the link to this Reddit post in the description down below too, if you want to check it out. Sorry it took so long for me to upload this video. Things happened. I got sick and I wanted to be in the best condition to make this video, not be sick. So I waited until I was better to make this video. Also, I wanted to thank you for all of the comments, likes, and for listening to my subliminals that I uploaded like 2 weeks ago. Those 2 are my first public subliminals, and the fact that it's getting a lot of love, I appreciate it. I didn't think that it would get a lot of views, or like I didn't think that a lot of people would listen to it and it would be so helpful to other shifters out there. Knowing that my subliminals are helpful and has made other shifters shift to their desired reality. Thank you as always for watching, and that's it.